Page 150. He lives in Kolkata in the bracket or in London. He lives in the USA. He lives at Jangirpur in the district of Murshidabad. The train arrives in Delhi at 5 o'clock. B. For house and places of residence. In a bungalow, in a flat. In a hotel, in a cottage, etc. He lives in a flat. At is used to denote a specific one. For example, at 12 Chaurangi Road. At the Oberoi Grand. In is used to refer to names of streets and roads, that is, in Rasbihari Avenue, in Chaurangi Road. He lives at 25 Rasbihari Avenue in Kolkata, but he lives in Rasbihari Avenue. He lives in a house on Rasbihari Avenue. C. For places of work. In denotes the kind of place, for example, in a bank, in an office, in a shop, etc. At denotes a specific building or commercial concern, that is, at the GPO, at the Writers' Building, at the Tata Center, at the railway station, at the National Library. For a particular department of a business, use in. For example, he is employed in the accounts department at the GPO. 339. Into. In refers to position or rest inside something. Into refers to motion or change of state, as there is no milk in the pot, there was nobody in the room, the girls ran into the hall, the Ganga flows into the Bay of Bengal, the ice melted into water. 340. Among, between, among, among, between, between. Between is generally applied to two things, as there is a river between the opposing armies, but in expressing mutual relation, between may correctly apply to more than two, as a treaty between 6 nations. So also in comparisons, as there is a great difference between New York, London and Paris. Of the 5 following words, each is given a single definition with a view merely to suggesting the natural relation between these. MU under time. The preposition among is used primarily to mean surrounded by or associated with more than 2 separate things. It is regularly followed by a plural or a collective noun. Among his books are many late editions. We seen. In the bracket, see also current English usage by F. T. Wood. 341. Since, SINC is since, for, from, ago. For refers to a space of time. Since and from refer to a point of time. But while since refers only to a past point, from refers to a point of time in all tenses. Page number 151. Like, he has been here for a week. I have not seen you for many days. It is many days since I saw you last. That means since the point of time that I saw you last. He has been here since Monday last. He began English from the age of 10. In the bracket, past. He begins English from today. In the bracket, present. He will begin English from tomorrow. In the bracket, future. That means it refers to a point of time in all tenses. As adverbs, since and ago often mean the same thing. Thus, write either I saw him long ago or long since. Note that long since means long ago, in the bracket not for a long time. If ago is used and the event to be dated is by a clause, it should not be followed by the conjugation since, but should have the conjugation that. It was 10 years ago that, in the bracket not since, he died. The alternative constructions are, it is 10 years since he died. He died 10 years ago. Ago since is tautological because adverbially since is equal to ago. Note, carefully guard against the use of ago and since together. It is 5 years ago since he came here. This is incorrect. He last came here 5 years ago. This is correct. It is 5 years since he came here last. This is also correct. B. The use of since in the different parts of speech. First, in an adverb, it has two meanings. From past time up to now, I met him 3 years ago and have known him ever since. He said that he had been healthy since. The price was high last year, but it has come down since. I was with him at school, but have seen him only thrice since. In this sense, since follows a verb in the present perfect or past perfect tense. B. Ago. I saw him 2 months since. He died long since. In this sense, since follows a verb in the past indefinite tense. Modern writers prefer ago to since in this sense. Second, as a preposition, it means from and is placed before a noun or a phrase denoting some past point of time and is preceded by a verb in the perfect tense. I have been ill since yesterday. He had been here since January last. They have been here since the 15th instant. Since the 5th instant. Third, as a conjugation, it means from the time when and is followed by a clause with a verb in the past indefinite and preceded by a verb in the present indefinite or present perfect. I have been ill since you saw me last. It is a month since I saw you last. They have been absent since you left the place. 342. From, of. From, from, of. Wine is made from grapes. Steel is made from iron ores. Here, the material has lost its original composition in the process of manufacture. The table is made of wood. The bridge is made of steel. Here, the material remains unchanged in the process of manufacture. Page number 152, exercise 42. Fill in the blanks. First, he was digging the earth, dash, a spade. When he was bitten, dash, a snake. Second, the planet may be seen, dash, the naked eye. Third, the ox was tied to the pole, dash, a rope. Fourth, he stuck me, dash, a stick. Fifth, he was stuck, dash, lightning. Sixth, his throat was cut off, dash, a razor, dash, the murderer. Seventh, he died, dash, his own hand. Eighth, the prize is to be divided, dash, these two boys. Ninth, the property will be divided, dash, 4 brothers. 10th, wait dash an hour. 11th, he has been doing it dash 1920. 12th, he has been doing it dash his infancy. 13th, he has been living here dash a long time. 14th, I have been ill dash Monday last. 15th, the doll is made dash plastic. 16th, threads are made dash cottons. 343. For before. For is used in negative sentences to denote a space of future time, while before is used in both affirmative and negative sentences to denote a point of time, past, present or future, as the moon will not rise for 5 days, but the moon will not rise in the bracket or did not rise before midnight. He came in the bracket or will come before dawn. 344. After, in, within, at, by. After refers to a past space of time, while in refers to a future space of time. Thus, we cannot say, he will come after a few days. He died in a few days. The correct sentences will be, he will come in a few days and he died after a few days, respectively. To denote a point of time, after is used with all tenses, as he will come or comes or came after 5 o'clock. Within also refers to a space of future time, but whereas in denotes at the end of, within denotes some time before the end of. Like, I shall go in a week, that means after a week has ended. I shall go within a week, that means before a week has ended. At refers to a definite point of time, as he came at noon. By refers to a point of future time and means sometime before that. It is used to denote the latest time by which something was or is to be done. The implication is that it may be done before then, but not after, as you must be back by 5 o'clock. Applications for the post should be received by 25th April. We reached the place in the same time. That means we took the same period of time to reach the place. We might have started and arrived at the destination at different hours. We reached the place at the same time means, say 5 o'clock, we might have started at different hours. We reached the place within the same time, say 5 hours. It may be one took 3 hours, another 4 hours, etc. We reached the place by the same time. That means, say 5 o'clock, a little earlier, at a short interval from one another. Page number 153. 345. Until, unless. UNTIL, until, UNLESS, unless. Both of these convey a negative sense and should not be used with not to express an affirmative idea. Thus, we write, wait here until I come. In the bracket, not until I do not come. Similarly, for, unless you do not work hard, you will fail. Write either unless you work hard, etc. or if you do not work hard, etc. Exercise 43. Fill in the blanks. First, come here dash 5 o'clock. Second, he will go dash 3 days. Third, he went dash 3 days. Fourth, I shall not go dash 3 days. Fifth, the school shall not open dash a month more. Sixth, I came dash 5 days. Seventh, The train will not arrive dash 1 o'clock. 8th. He will not arrive dash a month. 9th. He will not arrive dash Monday next. 10th. He could not finish the work dash 3 days. 11th. He finished the work a month. 12th. He will not be able to finish the work dash 3 days. 13th. I shall not be able to finish the work dash evening. 14th. Will you come dash Monday? 15th. He came dash a week. 16th. You may expect me dash a week. 17th. I shall certainly finish the work dash a month. 18th. I am ready to go dash 2 hours. Chapter 28. Use of some words and phrases. 346. But. First, a preposition in the sense of except. All had left but me. I cannot but go. In the bracket, to go is the subject. But for you, I would have been ruined. In the bracket here, the phrase for you is the object of the preposition. He is all but ruined. Here, the Grund being ruined, or the clause that he is ruined is the object of the preposition. Second, an adverb in the sense of only. He is but a child. He came but yesterday. We came but die. We can but die. Third, a relative pronoun in the bracket who not or that not. There is none but wishes. Who does not wish to be happy? Fourth, a subordinating conjugation, that is in the sense of unless, if, not, that, not, except, that, etc. It never rains but it pours. Prediction catch my soul but I love thee. It cannot be but you are right. Fifth, as a coordinating conjugation, he is rich but unhappy. He is poor but honest. Note, usage like all but he has fled are due to a confusion of the use of but as a conjugation and as a preposition. That is, of first, all had fled but him, and second, all had fled but he had not. The Oxford Dictionary, however, defends the construction by saying that but is a conjugation here. That means all had fled but he had not. Or all, if not he, had fled but is equal to if not. Usage, however, permit the nominative after but when it is immediately followed by a verb to which it appears to be the subject, so that an accusative would sound strange. Everyone but she knew the answer. The boy stood on the burning desk, whence all but he had fled. Current English. Usage by F.T. Wood. Page number 154. BASS. As. First, a relative pronoun. This is the same book as that. In the bracket, as that is, as being complemented to is. I want such boys as have passed. He gave the same answer as before. That means as he gave before, as being the object or of gave. This is not true as. That means a thing which. This is not true as I said before. I am not such a fool as to believe that. In the bracket, as I should be, etc., as being complement to should be. Second, a simple adverb. A simple adverb, come here as soon as possible. He is as strong as Ram. Third, a dependent. In the bracket, conjugative or relative adverb. He wept as he spoke. Do as you like. He took it just as was. Come as soon as possible. I am not so clever as you. As a friend, I advise you to do this. I love him as my son. As a rule, he comes late. Be so good as to help me. He did not succeed as a poet. What is your intention as regards me? D. Due to. Unlike owing to, due to has never become a compound preposition. That is, due retains its adjectival function and must be properly related to the noun or pronoun it qualifies. Hence, I could not come due to illness is wrong because due does not qualify any noun here. We should write instead, I could not come on account of or owing to illness. The following sentences, however, are correct. His illness was due to exposure to cold. The accident was due to his carelessness. Because due is related adjectively to illness and accident respectively. Note, students may remember that a sentence must never begin with the expression due to, but Fowler, remarking that the prepositional use of due to was now as common as can be, said, perhaps idiom will beat the illiterates. Perhaps the illiterates will beat idiom. Our grandsons will know. Now that this construction can be found in the Times and is freely used by BBC announcers, it seems clear that idiom is fighting a losing battle. The complete plain word by Govers. E. Doubt. D-O-U-B-T. Doubt. The clause after doubt in the position is introduced by whether, not by that. I doubt whether Easter will be fine. But after doubt in the negative or interrogative, the conjugation is that. I do not doubt that. Who doubts that? About and as to cannot govern a clause but may govern a noun or gerund after doubt. There is a doubt as to his sanity, his going. There is no doubt about it, but not. There is a doubt about whether he is sane. There is no doubt as to that it is so. ABC of English usage. F. Other. Other is generally followed by than, T-H-A-N, than. I have no friend other than you, but both POD and COD have under none. There is none other but the house of God. Nesfield uses besides also after other in the sense of in addition to. No other person besides my friend applied. Page number 155. In other than, rather than is a preposition, not a conjugation. Nesfield, page 268-274. G. Write me, write to me. An indirect object is used after write only if there is a direct object, but the direct object may be used without an indirect. If a direct object is wanting, use to before the person written to. Thus, I wrote you a letter, I wrote a letter. I wrote to you are all correct, but not I wrote you, which may pass only in business letters. H. Prevent. The modern constructions are: first, prevent, transitive noun from and gerund. I prevented him from troubling me. Second, prevent with the noun or gerund as subject. Object, his decision will prevent argument. I shall try to prevent his coming. The construction prevent him from coming, doing, etc. is common in colloquial English and is noted as popular in OED, but grammar demands the possessive qualifying the gerund. ABC of English usage, where, however, the possessive form is not allowable, the objective form is freely used. That is, I shall prevent the letter being sent. That means the sending of the letter. I. Worth, while, WORTH, worth, WHILE, while. Is worth demands an object, and while as a noun acts as this object in certain expressions. The question now arises, when does worth require while and when is it able to stand alone? The simple answer is that it requires while only when it has no other object and does not require while when it has another object. Of the following sentences, those italicized are wrong, says ABC of English usage. Like first, that was worth doing. Second, italicized words, that was worth while doing. Third, it is worth doing the extra work. These are italicized words. In the bracket, doing is not the object but the real subject of the sentence, the it being anticipatory. Doing the extra work was worthwhile. So, while must be introduced as object. J. For example, i.e. e.g. exempli gratia and yiz videlicet. These words should not be confounded, i.e. id est, id est est, meaning that is to say. When we write i.e., that means that is to say. When we write e.g., which means exempli, exempli, gratia, gratia, that means for instance. And when we write viz, that means namely. Viz is pronounced as videlicet, videlicet. The first introduces another way, more comprehensible to the hearer, of putting what has already been said. It does not introduce an example, which is the function of, for instance, thus. Be careful of your stops. Videlicet, that means namely, comma, semicolon, etc. Be careful of your stops. That is to say, the way in which you use commas, semicolons, etc. Admission will be by ticket only, i.e. meaning that is to say, only those who will be able to produce admission tickets will be allowed to enter. The nations of the present day are interdependent, e.g. meaning, for instance, England has to depend on India for some raw materials and India has to depend on England for some finished products. They have got many new rights, e.g. meaning, for instance, they can form public associations. Everybody has freedom of public worship, etc. He provides me with all the necessities of life. VIZ meaning namely milk, bread, clothing, shelter, etc. There were only 3 men present there. VIZ videlicet meaning namely Ramesh and his 2 brothers. K. Provided, provided, provided. A clause introduced by provided must express a stipulation, that is, a demand for the prior fulfillment of a condition, made by the person whom in the main sentence gives a conditional undertaking or vouches conditionally for a fact. I shall go there provided the weather is fine. The following sentences are all wrong. When will the War Council at the capital decide, provided the war is to continue? She and I agree to stand by each other and to give our governors warning, provided they tried to make us renegades. Provided that should not be used in writing, though the construction is by no means uncommon in colloquial and in business English.